So I come from Washington to explain what's happening in Washington to you, allegedly. And everything's great, really. Don't worry, it's all under control, it's nothing to be alarmed about, nothing unusual. It's just, a little bit of, it's a pretty unusual moment, actually. I think we're more bewildered in Washington, perhaps, than people out here, because we're so used to a certain manner of proceeding. Maybe we're right to be used to it or right to value it. Maybe we're wrong to, but certainly the Trump administration, his election and his governing has shaken things up, along with other things, which I'll get to in a minute, that have shaken things up. And so I think my main message really is a perfectly obvious one, but I think it is really a new moment, an unusual moment, a fluid moment. And for me, that is the fact. Trump is president. He'll be president, leaving aside Mueller really discovering something damning, which is possible, but let's just leave that aside for a minute. And let's assume he's president for 3 more years. That's a big deal. I mean, he is the first American president who hadn't served either in elective office or in the cabinet or as a general officer in the U.S. Army, a true outsider, or maybe you could say a fake outsider if you don't like him, but still someone who ran as an outsider, ran against not just the Democrats, but against his own party, ran against Bush, ran against McCain, Romney, all the previous nominees, ran against the orthodoxy of his party on trade, and to some degree immigration, certainly on foreign policy and all that. We've had many, many candidates like Donald Trump. We've had many figures in American history like Donald Trump. If you don't like him much, you'd say sort of demagogues and people who try to capitalize on anxieties, or businessmen who kind of try to come into politics. Some of them become governors, some of them become senators, some of them run for president, but none of them, I think this is true, had become president until Trump. He is a unique president in that respect. And being president matters. It has a real effect. And certainly 4 years of a presidency, to say nothing of 8 years, really does matter. It changes political parties. It could change the Republican Party. It changes institutions. It changes governance. Or maybe it doesn't. I mean, maybe it comes and goes. It's a weird interlude. But that all depends on what happens in 2020. So it's a big moment. I do think it's a big moment. I could argue that it didn't have to be a big moment, but I think now that he's president, very hard not to say that it's a big moment.